Some nasty weather greeted those who came to Lubber Stadium for homecoming on Saturday night. The Lakers prevailed against the elements and the Northern Michigan Wildcats as they came up with a 48-17 victory in a weather-shortened game. Isaiah Grimes got the start for the Lakers due to Heath Parling's ailing shoulder. On the Lakers' first possession, Grimes connected with his favorite target, Brandon Green, and used him in the running game to set up a short and goal situation. Northern Michigan stopped the Lakers on consecutive plays, and Grand Valley decided to go for it on 4th and 1. The skies opened up, and so did Joe Warner as he caught a 1-yard pass, and the Lakers celebrated as they were being pelted by hail. Northern Michigan got a good kickoff return, and their backup quarterback Shea Brown led them into field goal range. It was a 28-yarder for the Wildcats that made the score 7-3. Lakers countered with their own field goal as freshman Joel Skipper hit one from 34 yards to put Grand Valley up 10-3. In the second quarter, the Lakers got the running game going as Michael Rattay and Chris Robinson led them down the field. Robinson ran through a big hole on the left side for a 20-yard score. The Laker D held again thanks in part to a big sack from Mark Mosley. Percy Jackson got into the act with a 28-yard run and set up Michael Rattay's 11-yard touchdown scamper. Shea Brown completed 7 passes on the next Wildcat drive, and Marcus Tucker dove over the right pylon to bring the score to 24-10. With less than a minute in the half, Isaiah Grimes drove the Lakers into scoring position. Again, the big gain belonged to Brandon Green, who grabbed a pass over the middle and ran 38 yards to the Northern Michigan 15. Joel Skipper hit the field goal and gave the Lakers a 27-10 halftime lead. Lakers had to punt for their first time on their opening second-half drive, but came back with a 4-play, 49-yard drive that was capped off with Michael Rattay's second TD of the game. Rattay led the Lakers again with 143 yards rushing. A botched punt allowed Northern Michigan to get on the scoreboard one more time. The Lakers continued to run the ball well on the next drive as Ben Hutchins, filling in for the injured Kirk Spencer, broke free for a 23-yard touchdown. Grand Valley opened the fourth quarter with a drive to the north end zone. Isaiah scrambled free, then hit Joe Worth with a pass. Joe fought his way in for the last score of the game. With 12:55 still to go, thunderstorms in the area caused the officials to clear the field. The game was canceled shortly after. Later, the GLIAC ruled the game a final, and the Lakers had their third conference win. After the game, Tom Cleary sat down with head coach Matt Mitchell.
Well, just as Grand Valley was about to score its first touchdown Saturday night, a hailstorm began, and that was pretty indicative of the way things went for the remainder of the evening. All sorts of craziness in this one. The Lakers finally emerged with a 48-17 win, Matt Mitchell, and boy, where do we even start to dissect what happened here? Let's talk about your team. Played pretty well offensively, I think, in the first half. 4 drives, a field goal, and 3 touchdowns. Without your starting quarterback, a pretty good return.
Yeah, we didn't punt in the first half, and I thought our offensive line, we challenged our offensive line after the Ferris loss. They step up and play better, and they did. We were able to control line of scrimmage, run the ball, and protect Isaiah. And so I thought we had a great approach. Again, with the weather, as you mentioned, we had hail, we had rain, we had wind. I thought we had great ball security on the offensive side of the ball too, and so it was what we needed on the offensive side of the ball to kick off the game.
Sort of interesting about this one is that both these teams have had all sorts of difficulty keeping their top quarterback, whoever that might be at the time, healthy. Once again, you went without Heath Parling, who is expected to only be out for 1 week, but they're down to their third quarterback now. They played a freshman, Shea Brown, who had some pretty nice moments, all in all, considering the circumstances in which he was playing. Talk about your team's defensive handling of him.
You know, I think, the one thing we did great was we only gave up 67 yards rushing. They hit a couple runs on some things we hadn't seen. We made some adjustments. After that, our defensive line linebackers really did a great job, stopping the run. I was disappointed in our secondary that we didn't play a little bit better in the secondary. And they hit 3 big 3rd and longs on us. We had some chances to make some plays, didn't make some plays. So basically, from my chair, a lot of the yards they got were 3rd down yardage. And the kid kind of ran out and made some plays. So there's some things to look at the safety position coming out of this game. We didn't play as well as we needed to. And then when you look at the score of the 17, obviously the other 7 comes off our punt team. And high snap, didn't do a very good job managing it back there with Chris, and gave up a touchdown on a punt team.
What's interesting to me about this one is the fact that Grand Valley has started to develop now some secondary receiving threats. You had Warner score a touchdown early tonight in the 4th and 1. Worth with a tremendous play of his own. And then Jamie Potts, who we kind of count as a tight end, coming up with what might be the catch of the season to set up another touchdown. Your quarterbacks now are starting to look more toward these guys that aren't the target man in your passing attack.
Yeah, I think last week, we had some chances to make some plays on a ball wide out. We didn't come up with those plays, and so we were searching to get more people involved in the passing game. And I thought, like you said, our tight end stepped up well. Joey Warner's becoming a really good red zone tight end. He just has a good feel for finding openings, and we're finding him. And Joe Worth has been playing, I think, well all year. But the touchdown he catch, he did do a great job of finding the end zone in that case. So that's who we have to be. Brandon Green, I think, has been super consistent, through our first 7 games. But we've got to try to again develop other wideouts and get some of those other guys mixed in. And especially when Heath comes back, I'm hoping that'll occur.
Well, you did make a mistake that you alluded to on the punt team with the block punt resulting in a touchdown for them. Let's go to the other side. Your placement kicker, Joel Skipper, has done a fantastic job this year. He's been perfect through the first half of the season. You trusted him with a little longer and more difficult field goal try tonight. No problem at all.
No doubt. I've seen every week in practice. He hasn't had a chance to really exhibit in a game, but every week in practice, Joel's getting more confident. I think it also comes down to Derek DeLuca as a redshirt freshman, long snapper, Jeff O'Brien, and Joel working great and having good chemistry. So kind of a fun moment for us. They tried to ice him at the end of the 2nd quarter, and I told him, as a true freshman, this is what they call icing, Joel. So let's handle this and manage it. And he, just kind of laughed it off and went in there, and he hit two field goals in the first half and did a great job. So that's enjoyable. You see a true freshman stepping into Grand Valley's program and making contributions for us.
We saw one unusual mistake. It was on one of their scoring plays today when Reggie Williams let the receiver get the sideline when he thought he made a hit, or was going to make a hit. But a couple of other times he made great plays on bubble screens where he either went, beat it to the outside, came back, chased the receiver down and made the tackle, or just busted inside. You don't see teams go after him that often, and a predictable result.
Yeah, he made some great plays, like you said, on the short, quick passes. In the second half, he had a great pick on the sideline. Went up, high pointed the ball, got both feet in. Did a good job. So I thought our corners played well. We had a really aggressive on a bubble screen. We got a tackle for loss out of our corners. And again, I was a little bit more disappointed in our safeties. We had a chance to make some plays in the back end, specifically Eric Thompson didn't make those plays, and so we got to get better. But our corners, with Mike Hatcher, he came back. He wasn't 100%. We get Hatcher, Jones, and Reggie back. Those are 3 good corners in the GLIAC.
Well, Northwood is next up for Grand Valley next Saturday. We'll talk about that right after this. For the people that have watched Grand Valley at home this year, it seems as though at times the Lakers have been world beaters. On the road, it's been a little bit of a different story, and now you're back to the old bugaboo coming up this week with Northwood again. You've got to take a performance, which is a strong one at home, and replicate it on the road. What can you do differently this time?
Well, we haven't done that. We haven't won on the road yet this year, and you're looking at another noon start on the road. So we got to change some things up. I think we'll change up the way we travel, what time we'll depart. Just do some things different, and again to try to put an emphasis on, because this is a big game. If you look at the GLIAC North Division, obviously Saginaw's sitting out there at 5-0, and we still have them left on the schedule. Michigan Tech is 4-1, Hillsdale's 4-1, and now Ferris is 3-2. We're 4-1 in the North. A lot of football left to be played. A lot of those teams I just mentioned have to play each other, including us having to play Hillsdale and Saginaw. Tech's got Ferris, Tech's got Saginaw Valley coming up. So we got to win this game, and we got to figure out whatever it takes to go up there and beat Northwood. And so we got to have a great week of prep, see if Heath's back ready to go, and hopefully perform better on the road than we have the past 2 games.
It does seem as though you're getting a little healthier. You got through this one against Northern Michigan without any serious problems. And you talk about players coming back. When Heath came back before, he did so pretty seamlessly. Came back in and played well right away. Is it possible that he could be ready to go and able to help you next week?
I think so. I think the shoulder injury was close, but Isaiah had a good week of practice. So we'll have to evaluate things early and see who's practicing the best. Some of it might depend on our game plan too, kind of how Northwood's trying to attack us and what they're doing. But we are getting some guys back. You know, we get Mike Hatcher back, who's a good senior corner. Brad Horling will be, he played a little bit tonight, but he'll be more in the flow of things. We've been missing him, obviously, in the secondary. And those pieces of the puzzle, getting back and getting healthy, can help us on down the stretch.
I want to talk a little bit about looking ahead with some of those defenders that have been playing for you already. Charles Hill has made a couple of position changes this year. He's moved around quite a bit. And Jordan Kaufman's played pretty well for you at linebacker. Do you anticipate that we're going to see something similar to what you've attacked with tonight defensively next week?
I think so. You know, we have, between Luther Ward, Jordan Kaufman, and Chuck Hill, we have 3 seniors that know how to play football. And they've been pretty productive tonight. If you look at the stop and the run, that was Kaufman and Jordan. And then there was sometimes Chuck was involved in some of that. So having all 3 of those guys is good. And the way we get all 3 of them on the field is using Chuck as a safety. He's definitely athletic enough to do it. And in fact, he made a nice play on a ball, in the back end of our defense, batted one down. So I anticipate that's the case. Horling has a broken hand. He can't quite catch yet. And it's a little bit of a liability back there. But we'll find out a way to use our best guys to stop Northwood.
It seems to me that Northwood is going to have to face the Grand Valley defensive line that seems to be getting a little bit better every week, and that is down to probably somebody like DeAndre Hogan, who's come in this year and played better for you, and Benzie seems to be more situated now.
Yeah, I think DJ Hogan, what you mentioned, has been playing great as a sophomore, and we made a move, and he's been really being a playmaker. I think you saw Mosley being disruptive tonight. Isaiah Dunning was out with a little bit of a shoulder. He'll be back. We're starting to get about 6 guys that can make some plays up front, and we're going to need those guys because Northwood does throw the ball around. We need to get some pressure on that quarterback without having to forcing ourselves to use linebackers and blitzes.
Now the Lakers on the road this week. Northwood, the Timberwolves, providing the opposition.